got a tear in this shirt. Is there any more thread left?
I think there's a bit left on the reel. But don't use too much, will you?
No, of course not. Oh, I expect the needle's blunt again.
Oh, it is, I'm afraid. And I have heard it may be a year before any new ones. Perhaps it can be sharpened again.
Oh, it's already too short now. Oh, quick, wind up the radio. We should have done it sooner. If we're not careful, we're going to miss some of the play.
It's okay. It's a lovely day. I put it here in this patch of sunlight, and its solar panel should help charge it up enough. The play doesn't start quite yet. Don't worry.
Do you know what today's play is about?
It's set in 2008, and it's about two sisters with very different opinions on the oil crisis and global warming and so on.
Was that at the beginning of the shortages? Or was it still when people were pretending there wasn't a problem?
The shortages hadn't really begun then, and only a minority were taking it seriously. They really did live like kings, you know, with absolutely no thought for the future generations.
Crazy. Couldn't they see the need to care for the planet? Where else did they think they could live?
The moon, perhaps? I don't know. It was a terrible attitude. Oil was their god. They really thought they were entitled to use up every resource they had. They didn't worry a scrap about future generations. Us.
Haven't you finished winding that thing up yet?
All done. I'll turn it on now. It should work well here in the sun.
Good morning to all our listeners on today, Tuesday the 28th of June 2069. Continuing our run of short plays, here now is one set in the past, at the beginning of the 21st century, called Blinkered.
Hi, Abby. Gosh, what a morning. I must have driven over 100 miles already. Richard missed his train to Heathrow and he's due back in Paris, so I had to drive him up there. Then after school, both girls have got clubs and then there's swimming club for Ben. I wouldn't mind, but with petrol so expensive, it's costing me a small fortune. You'd think the government could do something.
I know, it must be difficult, but really, we need to find ways to reduce our travel. I still think petrol is inexpensive, considering how precious it is.
But that's ridiculous. We're used to this way of life and we've worked hard to get it. Anyway, what good is cutting down when no one else does?
Oh, Jane, it will all help, and we have to try to lead by example, for your children's sake, if nothing else. What sort of future will they have? Have you thought of that?
We give them everything they need, plus more. Good schooling, lots of clubs and sports, foreign holidays, the latest gear to wear. They want for nothing.
I'm sure they don't, and I know that you love them very much, but that wasn't what I meant. There's a limit to the oil left in the ground, and I'm certain that someday soon there won't be enough for us to continue life as we know it. It really is as serious as that. I try to cut down, and you should too. That's why I cycle everywhere I can, because I'm worried about the impact on future generations. And I don't fly anywhere if I can avoid it. It's not only climate change, global warming or terrorism that we need to worry about. Not having enough oil is a far greater threat to civilization, and nobody seems to be bothered.
Oh, don't be so alarmist, Abby. The government will come up with something. And surely there'll be new inventions. Things won't really have to change.
But things are changing already. You've just been moaning about the cost of petrol. High oil prices affect all aspects of our lives, from food production to manufacturing and transport costs. It's in everything, from toothpaste to clothing. Oh, come on, Jane. Surely even you can see that the supply of oil will dwindle as demand increases. Just look at the effect a high petrol price is having now. What's it going to be like if the supply is disrupted? If you really care for your children's future, and I know you do, Jane, then you must start taking this more seriously.
Oh, come on. What difference could I make? even if I believed the situation was as bleak as you say.
If everyone takes that attitude, it will spell disaster. We all need to use our car less, and very importantly, grow more food locally. Our towns need to become more self-reliant. I know some people think it's too late to do anything, but honestly, Jane, the future doesn't have to be bleak. If we just value the resources we have and stop being such a consumer society.
Are you trying to depress me? I'm beginning to wish we hadn't met up today.
No, putting blinkers on won't make the problem go away, and the government won't do anything about it until the voting public demands it. The next generation will have to live more lightly on this poor, misused planet. The more we prepare now, the easier it will be for us to cope with the inevitable changes.
So what the hell are we supposed to do?
Get local people to get involved in becoming a transition town.
A transition town?
Yes. That way, we make others more aware of the need to start working out the steps we can take in our community, based on a lower oil consumption.
Okay, but how can we do that?
Well, we'll need a long-term plan for, say, the next 20 years, setting out how we, as a town, can adapt to the changing situation. We do have control of our own destiny, but only if we accept that there's no alternative to oil on the horizon, and oil will be in increasingly short supply. I mean, it's stupidity to wait until oil is gone and then face chaos. We must learn to think differently and must plan for what lies ahead.
I haven't got time to get involved in yet another club. I'm sure it'll sort itself out.
Oh, for goodness sake, Jane, it won't. No, I don't mean to be alarmist, because I actually think that many aspects of life with less oil will be less stressful and healthier. Local food that hasn't been shipped miles and packaged will taste better. Cycling will keep us fit, and less cars on the road will mean less accidents and less pollution, so better for climate change and allergies. My list of improvements could go on. We really do need to take peak oil seriously to ensure a positive future for our children and our civilization. I really don't want to be part of the most useless and selfish generation ever. Do you?